Hello and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Battlefront Weekly. My name's Greg Henniger.
And I'm Lorenzo Valoria.
And last week we talked about Levolution in the Battlefield Frostbite engine.
We sure did.
And how that would all work, which got our brains spinning about how lightsabers could possibly work in that.
Right, so lightsabers are an awesome thing that is in the Star Wars universe.
Obviously. Not clumsy like a blaster.
No, they could basically cut through anything.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome for a Levolution situation.
Yeah, and how have they worked in previous games? Well, they've pretty much worked like blunt objects that you hit someone with over and over again.
A glowing baseball bat.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're holding a laser that can just slice through things.
Right.
Droids will maybe explode if you hit them once, but like you'd fight like those troopers that have like glowing sticks.
Yeah, those droids from the Clone Wars, and they swing them around and they could block lightsaber.
Yeah, that's
nonsense.
Garbage. That's
nonsense.
garbage.
So in Battlefront, we kind of want them to function like they do in the movies. So more like Jedi Outcast, I would say. Like if you turn on the dismemberment mode, you could run up to people and just chop their heads right off, or just walk around and touch them with it, and
pretty much
they'd fall apart.
Yeah, it was a cheat that like it literally just turned on everything to just fall to pieces.
Yeah. So apply that to the soldiers that you would attack with a lightsaber, and apply that to the buildings that you could demolish.
Yes.
And you have something there. So we're thinking, since in Battlefield 4 you could open up doors and go through elevators and basically collapse entire skyscrapers, let's make that with the lightsaber in Battlefront.
Yeah, now of course as a regular soldier you're not going to be wielding a lightsaber, so maybe there could be like a Jedi Padawan class who's like really doesn't have hardly any force powers, but they've got a lightsaber.
Yeah, we don't really know exactly how DICE is going to handle Jedis, or if they will at all.
Right.
But it could be that, or it could be the hero classes, so it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But as far as like opening doors and chopping down buildings, how about you do what Qui-Gon Jinn did, and he could just like stab a hole in the door and wait for it to melt. Or create like a big circle and just push it down.
Kick your way through. Boom, and if you don't want to use the door, you could just like go to the wall next to it and just like slice it up and then push it through. Yeah,
in previous games it was mostly just like lightsaber scarring. We kind of want just like the whole level to be like a hot knife through butter, basically.
Yeah, and like in Red Faction, that guy had the massive hammer and he'd blow out the support structures.
Yeah.
And then let physics do what it does best.
Yeah,
and the Frostbite engine does a really great job of that, so why not let us play with it a little bit?
And how cool would it be to like just throw your lightsaber at a pillar and it just chops that whole thing apart and something comes crashing down on somebody else.
Yeah, so we're Star Wars fans. We love lightsabers.
Who doesn't?
We want them to act like lightsabers, and we think the Frostbite engine is the perfect place for that to finally happen.
Right. So that's what we think about lightsabers in Battlefront. What ideas do you guys have? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, what would you guys do with a lightsaber in this scenario? Like, what kind of creative, strategic ways would you guys use a lightsaber? So last week's question of the week was, would you rather be a Rancor tamer
or be a Geonosian gladiator animal trainer?
Yeah, that guy that's in charge of all those animals that come out and like chomp up people.
Yeah, the Acklay thing and the tiger. Yeah,
and that that cat thing. And we had some really good answers from last week. All right, so this first one comes from Riley and friends. If I had to choose between being a Rancor tamer or a Geonosian beast trainer, I'd feed myself to the Sarlacc.
Awesome.
Just choosing the easy way out.
Easy way out. Blackie Chan 78, great name. I would be a Geonosian monster tamer. Then I could create an army and rule the world.
Fair, if they don't eat him first. James Phillips said, I'd rather be a Rancor tamer. You can develop a one-to-one bond with it instead of managing many little guys. Plus, if things go bad, you only have to hide from one slow beast rather than fighting several fast ones.
Cool. Jason Knott says, definitely Rancor keeper. You get a wicked bodyguard, a pet, and a mount.
That would be sick. A Rancor bodyguard.
That'd be awesome.
All right, and so for this week's question of the week, we're kind of, future thinking. We've heard some rumors about the plot of Episode 7, how it could be about the offspring of the Jedis and all the main characters there. So we're thinking, who would you rather be the child of? Luke Skywalker,
or Han Solo?
who would make a cooler dad? Who would make a better
Who's cooler than Han Solo?
Who's cooler than Luke? I mean, he could use the Force and all that. So
he's got the Force, but
let us know your answer in the comments section down below. Who would you rather have be your dad? And that's all the time we have for this week. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all those great things to our social media channels, and we'll see you next time.
And may the Force be with you.
Oh, what's up, Lorenzo?
Where can they find last week's episode of Star Wars Battlefront Weekly?
I'm not going to tell those nerds.
They can find it actually right up here.
What about last week's episode of Smash Brothers Wii U Weekly?
Oh, that. Oh, they can find that down here.
You have failed me for the last time, Greg.